Welcome, friends. And today we will talk about what exactly is the MVC. That is, today we were going to talk about what exactly is this particular word that we widely use in the programming. That is the MVC. You know, my friends, most of the popular languages, programming languages, like you can say the Java, you can say the Python, you can say the Ruby, you can say PHP and C Sharp. They widely, they basically follow the concept that is known with the name of the model view controller. Okay, so if you are a beginner and if you hear this word in your academic and if you are still new in the programmings, and a lot of people says, okay, what kind of pattern or what kind of architecture that you actually are following while writing the code. And most of the common word that we widely hear today is this model view controller architecture, and sometimes it is also a model view controller pattern. It is known with the name of pattern, or sometimes it is known with the name of architecture. Okay, so we will talk about this. What exactly is the model view controller architecture, or what is exactly the model view controller pattern? We will go through it and we will talk about it one by one. So here, be with me. And my friend, please, my friend, if you are new to my channel, please, my friend, don't forget to subscribe and uh, notification bell so that you will get the updated video of my programmings. Okay, so welcome, my friends, once again. So here we will talk what exactly is the MVC, and we know that, my friend, here MVC basically stands for, that is the model, and you can say the view, or you can say the controller. What happened, my friend, before this MVC? Basically, when we write program, so while writing a program, either you can use any type of language. Mostly when we deal with the C and C++, or the older languages. What if you want to create a graphics? Okay, let's say suppose you are creating a desktop application in any particular language. I'm not going to give the name. And what happened, my friend, in that particular application, suppose if you want to create something like an output that will show like here, let's say it is going to be your login page in your desktop, where you will have the, you can say, where you will have the username, and where you will have the password, and where you will have the login button. So here, what exactly you do, you design this page and you write the code for this page. And when a user click on this particular button, the validation, the checks, and the resulted output, what exactly you do, you write everything in the source code. So everything, you can say, in a normal way, but I can say everything like your designs, okay, or sometimes it is also called the present, that can be presented to the user. And in that particular presentation, you just use the logics, that is, you can say, your code, your database code, everything in one source file. So the problem what exactly occur when you do these kind of task, my friend, your code will become very heavy. And sometime when it reach to large number of lines, it will be very difficult to understand. Because what happened mostly in the market, in the programming world, in this software market, we basically have the different types of developers. For example, to design, for the designer, or you can say to show an output, or you can say to create a template, or you can say something like the word basically we use in the market, like the HTML. Okay, that is basically used to design the web pages. And here we're talking about the web pages. MVC is more wide, mainly right for the web application development. So for the pages, we have the web designers, Okay, and then we have the developers like who write codes, who write logics, who write programs. So here then in this case we are having the web developer, and then we also have the people who are very much expert in the database management. So you can say you have a database developer. To just think one thing, one point. If all these three people, let's say these are three peoples, and they will get this kind of code where everything written in a format of source code inside files, inside the code files, what will happen? They will get confused, because in this case scenario, they all need to work together to get the desired result and desired output. This is how it will affect the growth of your application. It will affect the growth of your project. So that is the reason behind this. There is a concept comes the separation of concern, means separate the concern, means there should be a design pattern, there should be a design architecture where these three people, that is all right, they used to work independently. They used to work independently. For example, here when we say the three people, when we say three people here, this web designer and web developer, and you can say this database person, okay, they worked independently, so that the code doesn't affect and your project grow. And also if there is a team, means there is a team where a lot of web developer or the developer programmer, or there is a lot of database developer, there's a lot of this source code that basically is going to be right when they are in a team. So something, some way they should use to control their project. So here there should be also one person they can that can control this whole project. Okay, so here basically when we say this type of concept, it naturally comes the concept of the model view controller architecture. So the point two here that we can remember, when I say the view, that means present. Okay, that's something that can be shown in a user. So you can see this is an output, this is the what we can present to the user. Here this is a login page that says hello, sign into the login. All right, and here we have a username and a password. All right, then we will have a forward. So this is something like template that is designed in a format of a particular language. So it may be, if you are using an Android, you can use the XML layout. Okay, and if you are using the web application, you can use HTML. Okay, and if you are working with the web development by using the Java, you can use the JSP, you can use the servlet. Okay, if you are using if you're using the Spring applications, Spring Boot, you can use Theme Life, many more. So a lot of or you can use the React Native or React JS to design this kind of page. All right, so what happened in this case scenario? Suppose while entering the username and a password, if somebody, or if you have, so somebody is creating the new account, that is the username, password, email and mobile, what will happen, my friend, if somebody, when a user click on this particular, it's a button, or user when click on this link, okay, this should forward it to the proper logic. This should means the proper logic should be work. Okay, so this is something written in this any type of format. So when a user click on this, my friend, what should happen? Once again, please remember, when the user click on this particular uh, link, there should be some logic that should be performed. Okay, so here what happened in that case scenario, there should be a controller. Okay, and this controller, you can say it's like a person, but basically it's some type of file that take this particular request or any type of request where they're creating a new account or any type of logic that you're going to perform, this will take this type of request and then decide, okay, suppose this is a sign in request, and then decide, okay, this user want to make a login, if this user want to make a sign in, okay, so there should be a logic that can perform these kind of tasks. So this is where the next things comes into place, that is the model. Okay, so here it will send this request to sort out by using the concept of the models. So model perform the logic, and if this model need a backend, for example for the database, so what it will do, it will connect to the database, okay, perform some kind of query, return the result, all right, and then it can present it to the user, or it can send back to the controller, or say, okay, this has been sorted out, and now please give a user some kind of output. So if you make a sign in, okay, you will have a welcome page, or if you are using this one, that is the what you can say, that is the sign up page, you will get some kind of response, all right. And here this controller, when you make a request, it will move to the model, it will just create a user, search whether this user is available or not, if not, change the username, whether this email is registered or not, if not, okay, create register this email, mobile number, everything will do, and will move back here. And what happened, it will give us some kind of response that says, okay, now move to the login page. So this is where the things come. The model is basically for logic. The controller is something like that control the navigation, that control the which part of application should send for the request, will take the response, that is basically done by the controller. And view is something like how to present the output to the user. Now here, this is something like a very simple diagram that you can see here. You can see here where we have a user. Okay, so user means, when I say user interact with the view, you can see, okay, here you can say the user interact with the view. While interacting with the view, what will happen, user make a request. So this is request will be goes to the controller, and then controller decide, okay, there should be a model, there should be a logic. So here it will perform some kind of logic that can be written in any programming language. The logic means that can make some sense, that can do some kind of manipulation. So it will this code is written somewhere, so it will call the logic that is written in a programming language. And if it needs some kind of backend, it will call them we can say database. So here this two complete part is known with the name of model. All right, so what we can do here, see, in a summary we can say, this model view controller framework, or the model view controller architecture. When I say the view, that means we are talking about the designers. So they are the web designer. They can use any language. I said shown HTML, JSP, servlet, or any other, whatever they want to use. When I say the view, and then when I say the model, okay, it means the logic, it means the programming language, okay, that means any type of programming language, whether it may be a Java, whether it may, you can say Ruby, all right, whether it may be your PHP, C sharp, Python, okay, something like this. And when I say a controller, okay, this means, when I say the controller, this means it's like a type of manifest file that says, okay, how to tackle request and response. Mostly this controller are written in a format of XML file. Okay, so my friend, this is about means how what exactly the model view controller. You will find a lot of books that says a lot of theoretical explanation about the model view controller. You can find out the histories and all whatever you want. But I just try to explain this in a very simple format so that you don't get confused. All right. So here, these are the developer. You can say this is the developer part that we can say. Okay, where it is. This is something says this is the developer part, this is the designer part, and this is the controller part. Okay, so you can choose on which side you need to work, whether you want to become a designer, whether you want to become a developer, programmer, or whether you want to become to manage something, what we can say, some time of administrator, something like that. So I hope, my friend, you like this tutorial. And please, my friend, if you like this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell so that you will get more same type of programming videos. So my friends, thanks for watching it, and I hope you enjoy this tutorial.